Talking about Portugal, people always think of Cristiano Ronaldo, golden beaches, ancient castles, colorful streets, and a relaxed lifestyle under the warm Atlantic sun. But behind this beautiful and welcoming country, there are also strange laws, surprising customs, and unusual everyday rules that make travelers feel like they're living in a different world. Portugal is more than just postcard-perfect scenery and rich history. It is a place where tradition, culture, and modern life blend in fascinating ways, creating ridiculous habits that may feel curious, funny, or even confusing to outsiders. In this travel documentary, we'll explore 16 strange laws and unique customs that reveal a different side of Portugal. Imagine you are forbidden to criticize a special person. Can you guess who it is? So stay with us until the end, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Beewild for more amazing journeys around the world. Number 16. No toilet paper in public restrooms. If you're new to Portugal, one of the first things that may surprise you is the almost complete absence of toilet paper in public restrooms. Instead, you will often find a bidet or a water spray installed next to the toilet. While this might feel unusual for some travelers, using a bidet offers numerous health and hygiene benefits compared to toilet paper. Water cleans more effectively, reducing the risk of skin irritation and infections in intimate areas. But have you ever wondered why the bidet remains so popular in Portugal, even as many other countries opt for toilet paper? This preference stems from Portugal's long-standing traditions and a deep cultural commitment to personal hygiene. Moreover, using bidets is environmentally friendly. Less toilet paper means less waste and reduced environmental impact. This aligns with Portugal's growing environmental consciousness and their dedication to reducing waste. While bidets are still widely preferred, toilet paper is becoming more common in major cities and tourist hotspots, especially as more tourists bring their own preferences. The shift towards more availability of toilet paper is a sign of the growing influence of global tourism on local customs, but bidets still play an important role in Portuguese bathrooms. Would you feel comfortable switching to a bidet, or do you prefer the comfort of toilet paper? Number 15. No urinating at the beach. Portugal's beaches are among the most beautiful in the world. But did you know that urinating on any beach is actually against the law? If you're caught doing so, you could face a fine of up to 100 euros. This law has been in effect since 2018, aimed at protecting the pristine marine environment and preserving the quality of tourism. Urine contains bacteria and nutrients that can disturb marine life, which is why the Portuguese government took action. The motivation behind this law is rooted in Portugal's commitment to environmental protection and tourism. Coastal ecosystems are delicate, and even seemingly harmless activities like urinating can have a long-term impact on water quality, which in turn affects marine animals and plants. By keeping the beaches clean, Portugal aims to enhance the natural beauty and ensure a pleasant experience for all visitors. However, many have debated whether this law is enforceable. After all, how can authorities tell if someone breaks the rule? Yet the goal is to maintain a standard of cleanliness and keep the beaches as eco-friendly as possible. To make it easier for visitors, public restrooms have been installed along many of Portugal's most popular beaches, and educational campaigns encourage visitors to respect these beautiful natural spaces. Additionally, beach cleaning initiatives have also become part of community activities, helping ensure that these natural spots remain unspoiled. How do you think this law compares to similar beach policies in other countries? Number 14. No naked while driving. This next regulation might surprise you. In Portugal, it's illegal to drive naked. While driving in various states of undress might be considered a strange habit anywhere, Portugal decided to make sure that such behavior is explicitly prohibited. According to Portuguese road laws, both drivers and passengers must wear clothing that covers all private areas while on the road. This law was enacted in 1986 to ensure both public safety and social order. Some people argue that it infringes upon individual freedoms, but authorities have insisted that driving naked could easily distract other drivers, potentially leading to road accidents. The rationale is that drivers who are not dressed appropriately may become preoccupied or act unpredictably if they are caught in an awkward or uncomfortable situation, increasing the risk of accidents. In some well-publicized cases, like the 2018 incident when a man was fined for driving naked on a highway, this law has certainly raised a few eyebrows. Supporters of this law believe it upholds social norms and maintains a sense of decency in public spaces. Whether you find it reasonable or not, it's a rule you have to respect while in Portugal. Do you think such a law would be effective in your country? Number 13. No kissing in elevators. You might think that kissing your loved one in an elevator is a sweet and romantic gesture, but not in Portugal. Kissing in an elevator is actually prohibited and could cost you up to €50 in fines. This law, which dates back to 1990, is intended to prevent indecent behavior and to ensure a comfortable and respectful environment for all elevator passengers. Since elevators are confined public spaces where many strangers gather, public displays of affection, like kissing, can make others feel uncomfortable or embarrassed. The regulation also has a basis in maintaining a respectful atmosphere in what are essentially shared public utilities. Imagine being in a small space with strangers sharing an overly intimate moment. This rule aims to avoid such awkward scenarios. Though the law may sound harsh, the focus is on ensuring respect in shared spaces. As with many social regulations, enforcement is flexible depending on the situation. While a light peck may be tolerated, more intense displays of affection could land you in trouble. So next time you're riding an elevator in Portugal, save those affectionate gestures for a more private setting. It's worth noting that this law reflects Portugal's cultural emphasis on maintaining proper decorum in public spaces, a common trait in many European countries. Number 12. Almost no wildlife. For those who love nature, Portugal might not be the ideal place to explore wildlife. Due to habitat destruction from rapid population growth and economic development, Portugal has very few wild animal species. This country is not known for safaris or rich wildlife sightings, unlike its European neighbors. Many native animals, such as the European antelope, Iberian lynx, and wolves, have either disappeared or become critically endangered. The decline in wildlife populations can be attributed to urban expansion, agriculture, and industrial activities that have reduced natural habitats. The destruction of forested areas and wetlands has left many species with no place to live or breed. Additionally, the hunting of some species in the past has also contributed to their scarcity in the present day. However, recent conservation efforts are striving to reverse these trends. Several nature reserves and habitat restoration projects have been established to protect the country's biodiversity. Environmental organizations are actively involved in reforestation projects, habitat protection, and wildlife conservation programs. Through these efforts, Portugal aims to recreate environments that once supported rich wildlife. If you're lucky in some of these protected areas, you might still catch a glimpse of the Portuguese wolf or rare birds that make Portugal's ecosystems uniquely beautiful. Perhaps in the future, we will see a thriving ecosystem in Portugal once again. Number 11. Prohibited to say Portugal belongs to Spain. The names Portugal and Spain may sound similar, but never make the mistake of suggesting that Portugal belongs to Spain. This is not just a cultural taboo, but also a matter of national pride. Since medieval times, Portugal and Spain have had numerous conflicts, alliances, and moments of tension. Portugal declared its independence in 1139 and has cultivated a unique cultural identity, distinct from Spain. The history between these two neighboring nations is complex. During certain periods, Spain did control Portugal, such as during the Iberian Union from 1580 to 1640, but this was far from a peaceful integration. The Portuguese fought hard to restore their sovereignty, and to this day, they take great pride in their independence. For the Portuguese, being considered a mere extension of Spain undermines their culture, history, and struggle for national identity. The prohibition against saying that Portugal belongs to Spain is partly rooted in efforts to maintain national identity. Such statements are not only factually incorrect, but can also be offensive to Portuguese citizens who are fiercely proud of their independence and cultural heritage. It's a simple but significant cultural sensitivity that tourists should respect. It's always good practice to learn about a country's historical background and honor its culture. After all, isn't that part of what makes travel so enriching? Number 10. No eating while walking. If you enjoy munching on a sandwich while strolling down the street, Portugal's cultural norms might catch you off guard. The Portuguese find eating while walking to be impolite, and some even consider it offensive. Meals in Portugal are seen as precious moments, meant for relaxation, socialization, and fully enjoying the experience of well-prepared food. This cultural practice is part of their respect for food, which means savoring each bite in a seated setting, ideally shared with friends or family. The idea is that eating deserves one's full attention, and food should not be reduced to just fuel for the body, but rather a source of enjoyment. Eating while walking can be seen as disrespecting the culinary craft, which is highly valued in Portugal. Eating on the go is viewed as both disrespectful to the food itself and an inappropriate public behavior, contrasting with Portugal's deep-rooted culinary traditions. That said, street food stalls do exist, but people typically find a place to sit rather than eating while standing or walking. For travelers, this is a great opportunity to slow down, find a cozy cafe, and enjoy the vibrant flavors of Portugal's dishes while engaging with the culture around them. After all, slowing down to enjoy a good meal could be a wonderful way to live, don't you think? Number 9. No early lunch or dinner. Unlike many other parts of the world in Portugal, you will find yourself sitting down for lunch around 1 to 3 and dinner as late as 10 p.m. Historically, Portugal's meal schedules are influenced by its seafaring past. Early sailors worked until later in the afternoon before eating, which pushed meals into later hours. Additionally, the mild Portuguese climate often encourages people to spend the cooler mornings and evenings outside, and this lifestyle encourages later dining. Culturally, lunch and dinner are seen as key social events. The Portuguese value the time spent eating as much as the meal itself. Lunch can last for hours, especially during weekends when families gather to share food stories and laughter. Restaurants often reflect this slower pace, providing meals at a leisurely pace to let diners enjoy the experience. In recent years, the influence of globalization and a faster-paced urban lifestyle has led some Portuguese to adopt earlier meal times. However, the tradition of dining late still holds a firm place in the cultural landscape of the country, particularly during social gatherings where meals extend into late-night conversations and laughter. For tourists, adjusting to these later mealtimes may take some getting used to, but embracing it allows for a more authentic experience of the local culture. Number 8. Naming laws. Naming a child in Portugal is not a simple matter of parental choice. The country has specific naming laws to ensure that children's names align with Portuguese culture and language standards. The name must reflect the child's gender, be free of vulgar or offensive connotations, and conform to Portuguese naming traditions. Portugal's approach to naming laws is tied to the idea of cultural preservation. The regulations aim to maintain a consistent cultural and linguistic heritage, ensuring that names remain recognizable within the Portuguese context. For example, foreign names, symbols, and names that don't align with the Portuguese phonetic system are often not allowed, which ensures names are easily understood by all citizens. These laws are meant to preserve the cultural integrity of Portuguese society. Names should be easy to pronounce in Portuguese, and they cannot be symbols or nonsensical words. Though this might seem restrictive, the goal is to maintain cultural coherence, preventing names that may confuse or alienate people within the community. Parents wishing to name their child something unique or foreign may need to seek approval from the government to ensure it complies with regulations. Would you be comfortable choosing a name within these limitations, or do you feel personal choice should come first? Number 7. No graffiti. Got a passion for street art? In Portugal, you'll want to keep it confined to legal avenues. Graffiti is considered an act of vandalism, and unauthorized graffiti artists can face fines of up to €500. This law was implemented to preserve Portugal's cultural heritage, as graffiti can damage historic structures and degrade urban aesthetics. Portugal's cities are known for their historical buildings, many of which date back centuries. The goal of prohibiting unauthorized graffiti is to protect these culturally significant sites from damage and decay. The government has taken a proactive approach to curb illegal graffiti by designating legal spaces where artists can create murals and street art without fear of penalties. The government has, however, created legal alternatives. Festivals designated public walls and art classes are available for those who wish to express their creativity without damaging public property. These initiatives not only provide artists with an outlet, but also celebrate the creativity that can enrich public spaces in a controlled manner. By offering these options, the country encourages artists to continue developing their skills while protecting the public beauty of the cities. It's a great way to balance artistic expression with community respect. Number 6. No criticizing Ronaldo. Everyone knows Cristiano Ronaldo, but in Portugal, he's more than just a football player. He's a symbol of national pride. Criticizing Ronaldo or the Portuguese national football team is seen by many as a personal affront. Football holds a deep cultural significance in Portugal, and Ronaldo is a hero to many. Ronaldo's incredible achievements have put Portugal in the global spotlight, making him a source of inspiration and pride for the nation. Beyond his sportsmanship, Ronaldo is known for his philanthropy and his efforts to help underprivileged communities, further endearing him to the Portuguese people. The victory at the 2016 Euro Championship was not just a football win, but a moment of unity and national celebration for Portugal. His achievements have put Portugal in the global spotlight, and the 2016 Euro Championship victory only deepened his legendary status. As a traveler, it's wise to show appreciation for his talent and the pride he brings to his country. After all, who would want to insult a living legend? Even if you're not a football fan, acknowledging Ronaldo's influence on Portuguese culture and pride will definitely win you points with the locals. Number 5. Prohibition on carrying knives. Unlike some places where carrying a knife is seen as a form of self-defense, in Portugal, carrying a knife in public is illegal. Historically, knives were symbols of aggression, and this law was meant to curb violence during Portugal's feudal periods. The ban on carrying knives in public spaces is designed to maintain safety and prevent incidents of violence which have historically been an issue when knives were commonly carried. Chefs, farmers, and those whose work involves knives are of course exempt from this rule, but regular citizens must follow this prohibition. The only context in which knives can be carried legally is if they are needed for work purposes or used in specific activities like fishing or camping. But even in these cases, individuals need to follow regulations carefully. Tourists should be aware that even carrying a small knife could result in fines or confiscation, so it's best to leave any blades at home or in checked luggage. The prohibition reflects the Portuguese focus on public safety and maintaining a peaceful environment. By restricting weapons, Portugal aims to minimize potential threats in public spaces and promote a sense of safety for all. This law is particularly strict compared to other countries, so travelers should be aware to avoid inadvertently breaking it. Number 4. Half of the New World once belonged to Portugal. Did you know that at one time, half of the world outside Europe belonged to Portugal? According to the Treaty of Tordesillas, signed in 1494, newly discovered lands were divided between Spain and Portugal, giving Portugal control over much of South America, including modern-day Brazil. This colonial expansion had a profound impact on global culture, leading to Portuguese becoming the official language of several countries around the world. The Treaty of Tordesillas was an agreement brokered by the Pope to prevent conflict between the two rising naval powers of the time, Spain and Portugal. The line of demarcation ran roughly through what is now South America, granting Portugal control over Brazil, while Spain took the rest of the continent. This division ultimately shaped the cultural and linguistic landscape of Latin America, with Portuguese remaining as the official language in Brazil to this day. Beyond South America, Portuguese explorers set sail to Africa, Asia, and even parts of Oceania, establishing colonies and trading posts. These voyages allowed Portugal to establish a global presence, influencing language, cuisine, and culture in numerous countries. The impact of Portuguese colonialism is still evident today in the form of language architecture and cultural traditions in many places around the globe. Number 3. Portuguese is the official language of 9 countries. Today, Portuguese is the official language of 9 countries, including Brazil, Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, Cape Verde, São Tomé, and Príncipe East Timor and Macau. This language unifies millions across continents, representing cultural bonds formed through centuries of shared history. The Portuguese language has developed unique flavors in each of these countries. Brazilian Portuguese, for example, has its own distinct accent, vocabulary, and expressions that make it very different from European Portuguese. In Africa, countries like Angola and Mozambique have also adapted Portuguese to blend with local languages and cultures, creating rich linguistic diversity. Portuguese in each of these countries has developed unique variations influenced by local cultures and experiences. Brazil in particular is the largest Portuguese-speaking country, adding a lively rhythmic twist to the language. Portuguese is also an official language of several international organizations, which strengthens political and economic connections between these diverse countries. If you've ever traveled to Brazil or Angola, did you notice any differences in the Portuguese language compared to how it's spoken in Portugal?